The Stanford loss was one that needed to hurt for you guys. How have you kind of dealt with it over the last few weeks?
Yeah, it definitely was a hurtful loss. I think I'm just getting over it today, actually, with the practice, getting out back on the field to shake everything off. So it happens. It's part of the game. We have to correct a lot of things. But overall, pretty successful season. Not the one that we had planned, but we have a great team coming back, and we're looking forward to our last game versus Kansas State. So to finish off with a big win against Kansas State would be, definitely a great thing for the future.
How do you overcome lingering disappointment and getting yourself up for a game like Kansas State, which is still a pretty big game?
I think that after a couple weeks or a week and a half of just sitting there moping around, I think that it's time that all of us just kind of get back into understanding that we have another game to play. So to get over that, it takes maturity from us, from the leaders, the position leaders. So to get everybody back on track and understand that we have a big game coming up.
What was different about your guys' bowl prep last year versus your freshman year, and can you take anything from that preparing for this one after a disappointing end to the season?
Right. We're actually doing the same exact stuff we've done last year. Maybe our 10 o'clock curfew, stuff like that, kind of keeps everybody organized and ready for the bowl. So we didn't change a lot. We kind of just were a lot tired of losing, I would say. So we understood that bowl is fun, but bowl is a time to compete still. So we just came out and practiced hard, and that's what we have to do this time.
Have you given any thought to you're a junior, putting in for a grade or anything like that with the draft?
I'll definitely sit down and discuss putting in stuff after our last game. So, yeah.
In terms of obviously this is going to be Brett's game, the last game you get to play with him at least for the foreseeable future. As a wide receiver, how do you guys look at his legacy and what he's kind of left behind after these last 3 years?
Well, I think he's one of the greatest UCLA quarterbacks ever. So to be able to play with him and to have, be able to sit here and talk about him and be able to be on the sidelines with him was a tremendous honor for me. Definitely something I can tell my family, my kids, because he's done so much in school history that for him since he beat USC 3 years in a row, it's just unbelievable for him. So I hate to see him. I hear all the talk about him leaving next year, leaving, so I might as well just hop on, if he leaves, then I hate to see him go, but I understand.
It's a tough expectations for anyone to fill, someone like him who comes in and everyone expects him to be the savior and lead you guys to Pac-12 titles. And obviously he did a lot, but in those terms, he technically didn't bring you guys to a Pac-12 title, and some people will look at that. Do you think that's just kind of unfair in terms of evaluating him?
I think it's life. I think that when you're on that big of a stage in anything, if you look at CEOs, presidents of universities, they all have to live up to expectations, and if it's not, then everyone looks at you like a failure. They forget the small details that we all know, So Brett is a remarkable person. He's a hard-working guy, and we all respect him, to the fullest, and we understand what he's done for this university. So it may look like a non-successful season or a career or whatever because he couldn't get, our big games, but there was so much more to it, and we understand that.
How much do you think a win over Kansas State would take that bad taste out of your mouths, maybe the mouths of fans too?
I think that it would be an amazing thing for us to go and beat a number 11 team in the country, in a big bowl. So that's definitely what we're working for. It's going to be tough. They're extremely good team. They play, it's perfect football almost. They don't make any mistakes. Extremely disciplined. So it's going to take one of our best games we've ever played, and we're definitely going to be ready for it.